Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome once again, as always, to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. You join me today on a bit of a weekend bimble, a rare weekend bimble, I have to say. I've not been able to do this for the past number of years since becoming a father, as I've usually been too busy at weekends. However, my son's now 5 years of age, and Mrs H has decided that it's high time that he learned how to swim. So, moving forward, on Saturday mornings, she's going to be taking him for swimming lessons, which serves two purposes. Number one, it's very important that little Toby James learns how to swim. It's a very important skill to have. And number two, it allows Mrs H to build up a nice little bond and a nice little relationship with Toby, and something for them to look forward to, because it does have to be said that he has gravitated towards his old man in his little life, which is only natural. He's a boy. I'm his male role model, so to speak. Anyway, this morning I've come to Merseyside, specifically Lydiate, and I'm going to be taking a look at today an old World War II pillbox that I've been made aware of, that's in a field not far away from Lydiate Hill Bridge, or Billy's Bridge as it's known locally. And I'm approaching the bridge now. I'll just whip the camera around and show you. We're going to be making our way over that bridge in a minute. I believe this is bridge 18 on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. And apparently this pillbox is in excellent condition. It's in really good condition, which is good to see, because many of these structures have either been destroyed or vandalised in the years since the Second World War. But this one remains, and this area is literally littered with these World War II relics, simply because it's so close to Liverpool. And obviously Liverpool was a big target and a major target for the Germans during the Second World War, so they heavily fortified this area, and as such it means that many of the structures remain. Anyway, I'm going to make my way to Billy's Bridge. We'll use the local vernacular for this one, cross over it and get into the fields and see if I can locate this pillbox for you, shall I? So, potters, here we are. We need to make our way up onto that bridge. So up these steps we go, and it should bring us onto a bit of a public footpath. Now, I've no idea why this is known locally as Billy's Bridge. If anyone knows the reason for that, please leave a comment below. And straight away we can see some World War II relics here. These would have been used to try and stop tanks during the Second World War. Whether or not those was originally across the bridge, who knows? But this is only a small bridge, and I doubt a German tank would have got across that, to be honest. And there it is, just over in the trees there. So we'll make our way over this bridge. I do apologise for the wind. We are out in the open here, in the farmers' fields of Lydiate. And here we are, a little bit less windy. And one good thing about all that frosty weather that we've had, the ground beneath my feet is rather firm and solid. And one thing we don't want is to be slipping and sliding amongst a load of mud. But here it is, just look at that. Brilliant relic from the Second World War, and it looks to be in pretty good condition. I believe it's a type WW2, which will be forward position 3/24. They all had different numbers, and it's built in a similar style to the concrete ones. However, this one's been built from brick, and it appears that those are engineering bricks at first glance. Now, its field of fire today is obscured. The canal is just beyond those trees there, and I should imagine that when this was originally built, the idea would have been that these trees wouldn't have been here. They would have had a clear view of fire, and they would have used the canal as another natural stop defence. But we'll see if we can get round the back of it. We'll just walk up this little path here and round the back and take a closer look at this one. So Hot Potters, I'm about to make my way into the area where the doorway to this pillbox is located. I've got to cross a bit of a ditch. Once again, this would have been built in a very difficult position to try and make it difficult for the attacking forces to get to. I'll just watch my step here. I don't want to be going bum over pap. Although, as I always say, it would make an excellent outtake for that video that I intend making for you at the end of the year. Right then, I'm just going to step up here, bit of a hey up. There we go, Hot Potters, not this time. And here we are at the rear of this little pillbox. Now sadly, today it's been gated. However, I think I can push that to one side and get inside for you, and we'll take a look at it. Because it looks like somebody's been camping out in there. So I'll whip the camera around now and we'll get inside. And there we go, I've just pushed that iron gate to one side and we should be able to go in. Now back in 2018, this pillbox was easily accessible. There was no gate in front of it, but it seems due to antisocial behaviour, whoever owns the land here has decided to fence it off. But as you can see, people have made themselves rather at home in here. Now, one thing that I have noticed that's different with this style of pillbox, there's no central pillar. In the concrete ones, where that wood is there, there's like a triangular pillar in the middle of these that goes to the roof, which I don't believe is for support. I believe it's so that the soldiers who'd be manning these positions could brace their back against it with the recoil of the guns that they was using. These just looked to be rifle positions. And due to the damage on this one, you can actually see how they've constructed these firing positions, because those are made of concrete. And that gives you an idea of the thickness of the walls. And the solid, there'll be no cavity in them. And you have to admire the workmanship on these, because supposedly these pillboxes were hastily thrown together in the lead up in the early days of the war. So you have to admire the craftsmanship that has gone into these, because they weren't built to still be here in 2024. Sadly, there is graffiti in these, and it is a shame that people have come in here and doing antisocial activities in them, because all that will happen is eventually they'll be demolished, because it's a myth that a lot of people believe that these are listed. Some are, but each case is taken on an individual basis. And if we just take a look through here, we'll be able to see the line of sight that they would have had, and this one is smack in line with that bridge, so you can see why this one was built here. The idea being, if the Germans tried to use that bridge, they could have been fired on from this position. and there's firing positions in the rear. Now, as far as I'm aware, they never had a door on them as such. I think it was just sandbagged around the back. If anybody knows different, please let me know in the comments below. Well, this one is in fantastic condition. To say that it was built 1941, 1943 era. Right, I'll make my way out there now, and we'll whip the camera around once again. And as you can see there, hot potters, I've resealed it again. Always leave things as you find them if you're coming round doing little bimbles like this. Now, this whole area in 2018 had been made like a little nature reserve. There was a seat in front of me. I do have a picture of that, which I'll put in there for you. And as you could see from that picture, they did a fantastic job in cleaning this area up. Sadly, due to its proximity to the canal bank, other people who have other ideas of coming in here, drinking cans of lager, etc. There's a number of Foster's cans around here. Why is it that Foster's lager is always drank by ne'er-do-wells, for want of a better phrase? But what I'll try and do, I'll try and whip the camera and see if I can get around the outside edge of it without falling in that ditch, and we'll be able to take a look at the firing positions from the outside. I'll do that now. And this is a closer look at one of those firing positions from the outside. Now, luckily, these pillboxes was never actually used in combat. We never got invaded, thankfully. But it does make you wonder how they would have held up had an invasion actually taken place. Just carefully make my way through all this undergrowth here, as you can see. It is a little bit tricky underfoot. I suppose in summer you would have no chance trying to get through here. And that's one of the forward facing firing points. As you can see, recessed in to try and make it difficult to get a shot in there or a grenade. Once again, there's the bridge that this pillbox was covering. And probably this firing point here is in the best condition from the outside. And the brickwork has fared pretty well as well. As I say, if you take a look at that brickwork there, that would be just as good if it was on any building of that era. You know, they didn't just throw them up, fag paper joints and all that kind of stuff as you see on modern day brickwork. You can see that it's pretty consistent. So as a former brickie, I admire the craftsmanship that's gone into the building of this particular pillbox, at least. Right then, I'm going to make my way back around the other side from whence I came, and then I'll whip the camera around and wrap this one up. So folks, that'll just about do it for today. Hope you've enjoyed today's little video, taking a look at this old World War II pillbox here in Lydiate by the side of the canal. For anybody who's interested in the actual location and visiting it for themselves, it's near bridge number 18 on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, which is Lydiate Hill Bridge, or known locally as Billy's Bridge for some reason. Once again, if you know why that bridge is called Billy's Bridge, you live around this area, whatever, please leave a comment below. If you do come and you decide to take a little mooch inside, be sure to put that gate back up if it's there. Always leave things, as I've said, as you find them. And that's it for today, Hot Potters. I hope you've enjoyed this little weekend bimble. I'm going to get out of here now, head back to the old jalopy, which is about 2 bridges down where I've parked it up, and head back to Wigan and edit up all this footage ready for your edification as always. So, until the next time, from myself, Mr. H, it is bye-bye for now.